Hello everyone, welcome to the session. I hope all are doing well. So previously we already discussed about the nested loop examples, basic examples on nested loop. So for our grip, now we are going to the random number. These are also basic things because when we done with the basic examples, then we can somewhat try for the difficulty. Otherwise, we can't catch the flow at a time like immediately when we are going with the tough examples. So we start with the basic. After then we go with the tough examples. So here write a loop that runs 20 times and prints a random integer between 1 and 100. See, this is I think giving a range for that. So it runs up to 20. See, in loops you can decide that how many times we have to run the loop. Like in for loop, what we have to do for doing like that. So giving the range, then when you give the 1 to 21 or 0 to 20, then it will be 20 times loop running like that. Otherwise, in while loop, you can give that initial value was 0 and it can go up to 20, like less than 20. Then the iterations of the while loop will be 20. So this is the way that we can choose our the number of loop running. So here when we go with this, okay, when we go with paste return, okay. So here they were saying that import random. Like we are already know that if we want to use the random and the functions of the random, so we have to import it first of all. Import random for underscore in range 20. Like we have previously like at the first session we already discussed that we can use inside the variables like underscore small or capital a to z small or capital and numbers like we don't have like we are not starting with the numbers. We can use numbers in between or at the last. See, for example, here I will write one. It will show error, syntax error, because variable never starts with the number. Variable starts with the a capital A, I mean like a to z, capital A to z, like, and yeah, underscore. Okay, so if I enter at the rate, like, yeah, it will show the error because at the rate is not considered as a variable. But when you enter a is a variable. Yeah, it will give the random values up to like 20 random values. There is no sequence because it picking in a random way. And after this, when we are like he given this underscore is a variable. If don't think like that, like when we are using these random numbers in the range, so we have to use underscore. This is not a keyword, this is a variable. See, if you use a random, then sorry, underscore, then I will get the same things in 20 numbers like that. Here you can use any variable, but the variable is in a correct form. Don't use like 1, 2, 3 at starting, or we can use it last. We already initiated with T, but last one there is no problem. We can write variables like that. So that is a variable which we previously write in for matrix row call in the taller variables. We can write instead of row call, we can write anything like AB or like that. So is your is that, but after when you are again getting revision, like doing revision, so at that time it will be more sufficient to go with a flow. So matrix, right? When we are thinking about the matrix, we just get the first point was row and column, like 3 into 3, 4 into 4, row and column. So when we use the same words inside the code, then we can go in a flow. And if you use A and B, then somewhat we can understand it easily. But we are using A B, right? So A here, B here, like that. But we did not think like, yeah, this is row, yeah, this is column, like that. We did not think like that. So if you use, you can go in a flow. Otherwise, you just somewhat it take 2 more seconds to get revision. So not at all a problem. But and this is the basic like normal thing using for loop random. And after this loop that runs 20 times and prints a random float between. You know that what which yeah, float. Generally when we use this uniform, right? So uniform means we can give up to any number. Like when we use uniform, then we have to give from here to here. We have to we want some. Sorry, here there is no input random. We are giving the range for the uniform function to take float numbers from this range, like this range to at that, like 1 to 10 or 20 to 30. If we give, then it will takes float in between the 20 and 30. So like that we can. But when you use this random, right? So when you're using this random, it will pick the float numbers, but it will pick only from 0 to 1. There is no range required for this function. It will give 0 to 1. You run multiple times, it will give 0 to 1. You can't do it other numbers. If you want, then you can use this. Um, yeah, uniform. So here when I run it, it will give randomly 20. Yeah, see everything, every number was between the 0 and 1. So we can go with like this. But if I this we already discussed that what this round function was doing here. The round function, the when we from this we get a float number. So we have to give the decimal place up to which decimal place it have to go. So when we are giving 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you give 9, then it will give up to 9 decimal places. 3, 3, 3, 9 places. So this is the thing we can get from 0 to 1. We can use uniform also. So but we have to give the range that 0 to 1. This is also same thing. You will get that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 9. So again run it. It will give from 0 to 1. But when we use random, right? So if we want the float value in between 0 and 1, so don't use uniform because we have to give extra like range. When you use random, so it's no need of giving the range. Just it will pick the 0 to 1 automatically. So after this code, write a loop that runs 20 times that prints a random float between 10 to 20. So here, when he chooses 10 to 20, and he used the for what is that function uniform. So this is how I previously said that for 0 to 1 we can use random, but when we are going to the like above integers like 10 to 20, like that 20 to 30, so we want some uniform type functions. So when we run it, it will give 14, 16, 11, 18, like that, 10, yeah, 19, like that. It doesn't give 20 because it goes up to 19.999. Okay, so when we are doing like this uniform function, what it was will do, See here, there is a range that the number was from 10 to 20. So it picks the integers 10 to 20, like no, 10 to 19, and the float numbers as usual, like 0000 to 999. So yeah, randomly any number will be occur. When you run it multiple times, it will give different values because it pick every time random values. Yeah. So if you give here like this is the round, okay. Uh, which number you will give, that number of decimal places will be came here. Yeah. See, this is the format of doing this uniform function. So random uniform random integer. So we're done with this. This is also a basic example. So write a loop 20 times that prints a random color. Okay. From these colors, uh, we have to pick out 20 colors. Like we can uh, pick the same colors, but we have to choose the colors 20 times. So when you use for loop, right? So these colors, when you're picking one after one another, so yeah, choice means it will pick any random color, only one color. Okay. After that, another like that. So this choice was normally used for strings because for uniform, random integer, that all for float integer. But these strings for strings we use choice. Three are the three things like when we used this what is that uniform or random integer, so we will get the one output only for one iteration we will get one output, but when we are using this choice, so we will get the same thing one, but these three are for three different look like data types. Like first one is for integer, second one is float, third one is this choice was string. So here we doing with the strings. So first of all, we taking a list that indicates the colors red, green, blue, yellow, purple. So containing these colors, the variable colors. So here when print random dot choice colors. So choice matlab, so it will pick the random variable from this red, green, blue, yellow, purple. So when we run it, see here we will get the random, but it will be repeat because we choosing 20, right? So there is only 5 available. So it have to repeat. Yeah. This is the way of choosing the random value and the value in the form of string. So in the form of float, in the form of int, we already discussed previously. Write a loop that runs 20 and print a random number from a normal distribution mean 0 stand on using random guess. So here we have some, when we run it, okay, then we are getting minus. So here taken the values were 0 and 1. So the function guess what the function guess was doing that uh, this here this number, okay, we will get like yeah. So I totally say the meaning of this was we will get the output from -1 to +1. Means we did not get -1 and +1. We will get in between -1 and +1. Yeah, because so approx like nearly maximum we will get in between the -1 and +1, because see here we are given the number was 0. So 0, sorry, 0 plus minus, okay, 1. So if you plus it, you can go up to 0. Otherwise, you will get -1. So the getting output in between the -1 and +1. But in some situations, like not situations, in some values, which maximum nearly 30%. Okay, 30% of output will go outside this. Means it will be 0 plus or minus 2 into 1, like this. Means the double of this value it can go out of this, and another 5%, nearly 5 or 6%, it will go out of this also. Okay, it will give suppose here we can go up to -1 to +1 normally, but some situations like 30% of the output will go like this. Means it can go up to 2, like we will get minus 1 point, see here, minus 1.24, minus 1.28, minus 1.27. See, so we can go like that by this function. But in other cases, which was it just 5% from the output, that we will go like this, minus 2.64, minus 2 plus 2.32. And yeah, we only having this one and this one, only two. See, so in the whole 20 questions, we are having only two values that were 10% of the, yeah, 10% of the output. We are having that this issue which was greater than this thing. Normally, maximum the output will be like nearly 68, 70% of the output will come in between this -1 and +1. But somewhat other 30% was not 30, 25, like that. 25% was comes in between this, which was 2 and -2. But in other cases, like 10% here, 10%, somewhere 5%, like that, it were very rare, like small, less numbers. We will get less numbers like that, which was greater than these two also. These two and -2. We will get greater numbers, which was greater than -2, less than -2, and greater than 2. So when we run it again, see here. Sorry. When we run it, here we get only -2, one thing, and yeah, only -2 will get only one time, but we run it again. Previously we got -3 also, so very rare. Okay, I already said right, like 5%, 1%, like that. Yeah, there is okay. See here, we did not get any two, like 2.2 or -2.2, like that. We get in between the two. So this is like guess. That's why we are calling the function as guess, because it can guess any number, but that number will be near to the given number. For example, I will proceed with the 50 and I will give this 10. So maximum we will get the answers like nearly 68% of the answers we will get in between 40 and 60, because we know that 50 plus or minus 10 means we will get either 40 whether 60. So when we run it, yeah, maximum. I said maximum, not everything. Okay, 68%. So here you can see 59, 49, 41, 42, 45, 54, 43. These are all in between this 40 and 60. See, maximum we got the answers. But somewhere like here, 39, and after that, here 39. Only two was getting outside the this 40 and 60. So here the percent was the percentage of this, the probability. You can say the probability of getting more than less than this and more than this is less. We discussed nearly 25, but here we got 10 like that. In every question it will be changes. So now 65, this is greater than 60, and 39, 36 less than 40, and after that 60 also greater than 60, and yeah, that's all. This four, yeah, four not five. Okay, these five things are which five are, oh, okay, six total. These six solutions are we got like that. So there is no sequence like, yeah, we will get for our first run we got nearly two, right? Two, but now five. So presently one, two, three, four, four, five, six, and seven, eight. Yeah, eight. We got eight like that. Before two, six, eight. So like that, it will just increase. And after will it will be decrease. So we cannot say that. And after this is the way of the the function gets was doing. Maximum you did not get these type of sums because there is no, like, if else, there is no use of this if else or anything. We are just when we are running it, it will give automatically the numbers which it guesses. So now all this, and again run it. Sorry, yeah, 0 to rand range, same as which we used in for loop. That, but in for loop, it will go in a flow that this is initially we are starting with 0, right? So in for loop, what it will happen? So 0. So 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, like that. What we when we use it for loop, what happened in for loop was it will go in a sequence with the step 5, and we can go up to 200. But when you use this, which is like in rand range means it will choose in between this range with this step, but it will do the not in a sequence. See here, 30, 35, 110, 25, 60, 40. These are all numbers which we get from this range. Okay, but if you do sequence for this, we will get the same thing, where if we do the same thing in the for loop, if we do this thing in for loop, we get in a sequence. But when we same thing was doing in the random range, so it will give in a random sequence. There is no particular sequence. It will give in a random way. So 30, 35, 110, 25, 60, 40, 65, 50, 100, like that. If you run it again, see, make sure the given the getting output is in a 5 table. Like every number will be divisible by 5, because then only this statement was correct, because it's starting with 0 and every number having the difference 5. For example, if you add here 1, then every number, the number which we are getting here, either then the last integer were 1 or 6, 1, 6, 6, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, like that. So these are all which we will get from here. So if you want to 20, our range was 20. So if you take not 20, 21. Okay, when you take 21, so Okay, it will take again same things because here we can go with the only 4, not 4 when we enter 0 here. So from 0 we can go up to 20. So I think 4 we can go. So for 20 we have to apply 25 is 100. Here also you can get the answers like repeating, like see here 65, 65. But you can ask the thing which we entered range 20 and we are having exact values which if we start from 0, if we start from 0 we will get the if we use every number like 0, 5, 10, 15 like that, if they will take the numbers like that but in a random way, in a random way take the numbers like 0, 5, 10, every number is sufficient, this range was sufficient. But why we are getting like repeating the same like 35 here, 35 here, like that 40 here, 40 here, 40 here, repeating the answers. So we are saying the same thing. The rand range like random will do repeat the same thing again and again whether it having sufficient range. But yeah, it will give it a random way as well as. So this is how this random range works. And after this sample, that let's see how it will be works. These things are most probably not used in nowadays, like where we use it normally. Think about that. We use it for I think so games. Okay, whatever like small games like dice games. It will give you the random value, right? So this coding will be works at there. Other than that, we did not having anything like something like Flipkart or shopping websites. So try your luck or try your like spin like that. I think we can use this random maybe because it will give the random value. So it picks the random value. If we are correct, then somewhat we will get the rewards like that. So we will use this thing at there. But other than that, we this is maximum nothing for nothing. So there will be less chance for asking in the exams. See here, we get okay, okay. So we know the first two lines. Import random because we are in the random and the function belongs to random, and this for loop underscore is a variable. So we are going with the 20 iterations. So in 20 iterations, print a random dot sample, which was range given and the number of elements just given. So output in the form of like this. So it will picks any three integers. Okay. For first iteration, it will picks any three integers in between the 1 and 50. Three integers. If you enter here 6, then it will pick the 6, any 6 integers. Okay. After picking that, it will gives in the line. After when the second iteration, one second list, third list, like that. It will form in a list. Okay. When we use the sample function, it forms in a list. So these are 35, 22, 37. These are which belongs to this list elements, like elements inside the list. So when you use this sample function, we will get in the form of list, and which you given here like 6 or 7 or 8 like that. If you enter the number of elements, so it will pick the same number of elements. If you give 10 there, then it will pick 10 random numbers in between 1 and 50. So for example, let's try that. If you give 5 here, but you give it 6 elements, error. Why? Because the range which you given was 1 to 5. In previously in uniform or like a random integer if you take and write. So rand range. So there the values will be repeat. Okay, there is no problem in that. But when it comes to the sample function, it was a list. So it picks the values which didn't repeat again. So we have to give which was greater than that. So you can give 7, it will give it will give same thing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but which gives in a random places. I think this is 6, right? So it will be changes 6 5s, yeah, 6 factorial. It can be gives different values like 6 factorial. So 6 factorial was 720. So we will get every like we didn't get same list again. See, every list was in a different. For example, if we enter here 720, 721. No, 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 no. Yeah, 721. So here, if we run it, so it repeats the list. Okay, inside the list, it didn't repeat the values. Okay, if when we entered the 721, right? So from the 721, why we entered 721? We are inside the list we are having 6 elements. So what is the probability of getting this different? We can write in a different manner, like changing the values here to there. So that is 6 factorial, I think. Yeah, n factorial maybe in this these type of cases which was not repeat again. Okay, this 3 4 2 are not repeat again. So uh n factorial, which was 6 factorial, and it equals to the 720. We know that. So I entered 721 here. Why? Because 721 means which was greater than 720. So when it sorry, so when we run it, it was giving the output. So what the mean was we can get the same type of list again, but inside the list we did not repeat the values again. Like when I entered the here 6, it was showing that which was lesser. So it can't pick same number again and again. So it doesn't repeat the value. This is the function sample works like. Shuffle, we know that it will shuffles like previously when we run, right? We get different types of outputs, like shuffling it. But when we run it, it will shuffle again and again. Here we created the list, but here we have to give the list. So we are giving the input. We are not forming. See, like here, before time, which we used this integer sample. We can use sample here, which we can without this input we can do that, but we cannot use in strings, right? So sample we can use sample with integers, not with string. Here these are integers, but shuffle can use with what is that strings also. But when we are going to the function sample, it choose only integers, but shuffle can go with the string also. When we run it, see 1, 5, 2, 2, but here 3 and 1, 4, 2, 2, 5, 2, 1, like that. So everything was different 20, in 20 forms of lines. Every list is same, but the positions will be changes because we used shuffle. If we enter apple here, see apple, 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 apple. So when we in the sample, we cannot use this apple because it automatically picks the integers from given range. So same thing, both are same. It is also shuffle the values. These are the shuffle the values. Both are doesn't repeat the values. But when you are going to this, we can use strings. But there we cannot use strings because we are forming both list and shuffle in at a time with the sample. See, when you are using sample, the list was forming by the sample, but here list was getting from input. We are giving the input at the starting, but when we are using the sample test case, sample function, at there the function was creating the list, not we are getting from outside. The sample function was creating the list. So here we get from as the input, but there we created the list and we shuffled it at a time. But here, not like that. So this is the difference between this shuffle and sample. And in sample, we use only numbers, numeric. But in this shuffle, we can use both string and numbers. Write a loop that runs 20 times and print one weighted random pick from, yeah. So random pick, so we have to use choice because here both strings and integers. So when you use this choice, then it will be more, yeah, convenient to the string. So when you go with this here in the option, there is uh, we have to pick, not shuffle. If we have to shuffle, then use the shuffle, not sample. But here we have to pick the one of the value. So that is the reason we are choosing using this choices function. So here the options which was low, medium, high and weight 10, 30, 60. So it will give a random thing like see here options comma weights equals to weights and 0 and in the form like this. So what was going here was, see, it was assigning. Okay, here when previously we are doing like that, assigning low equals to 10, medium is 10 like that. So here it was assigning that the first value, okay, the first value of this weights, which was 10, right? 10 is low. This which was the value of this weights, second value was 30, means here 1. So it becomes 2. Like, yeah, what I'm saying that was 10 belongs to low, 30 belongs to medium, 60 belongs to high. Here it was assigning. So here it was choosing this weight, not choices. See, when you run it, you will get high, medium, high. So these came from this part. Okay, this term. We get from only this term. Which one? This high, medium, high. But you can say that these high, medium, high belongs to these options, right? But here we already assigned this 10 to the low, this medium to the 30, 30 to the medium, 60 to the high. So when it was choosing this weight, okay, this weight, so what it will choose normally? It will choose either than 10 or 30 or 60 or 40 like that. So when it was choosing, so when it was choose 10, okay, so when it was choosing this 10, 10 what is 10 here? 10 we already assigned this 10 to the low, so we will get the low. But here see we get high, means from this weights it chooses 60. So that is the reason why we get high, 60 high. For example, if you remove this, it will choose the random string from the options. So how you will get? You will get like this. So here high, medium, we get this output from these options, like this low or this medium, like this high. So we gets like this when we choose from this thing, this three. Okay, so here you can ask that why we are getting this. Okay, this thing which was uh, brackets and this inverted commas. Normally, see here, previously we done with colors. When we done with colors, we get yellow, purple, green like that. But we didn't get this inverted commas and bracket. because here S is there, choice S, not choice. See, this is the difference between choice and choices. So when he was used here, the term this term, so what was happening that the values which was 10, 30, 60 were the low values were assigning to the 10, 30, 60. Low is the 10 is equals to low, 30 is equals to medium, 60 equals high. So it was printing the high value, a high, medium, like that. So this is how they're doing with choices. Okay, not choice, choices. If you do choice here, it will give error because when you using this choice, so you have to remove this because there is no two lists are there. Only one list is there, so you have to use only one choice. There are two lists that assigns with each other. So yes, medium, high, like that. If for example we use this same option set here equals to, which is here, okay, when we run it, type error. So what was the error? Get error. So after that, we are going to the 10th question, that write a loop that runs 20 times and print a random float between 0 and 10 using random.triangle by a set towards it. I think here, yeah, starts from 0. I mentioned. See, I think how these examples, I think these functions are not in this Python because, and when I done this coding, so I did not get this type of, I think these were removed, and I mentioned it PDF, but these questions are not there. These question and choices, these question, and yeah, shuffle is there. Sample also there, a sample also there, and after that random range is there. Guess is also, I think, not there, maybe. Yeah, other than these two, which was choices and this triangular, we did not get in the Python. I think old versions or something, this function has been removed, I think so. So yeah, we can. Now we completed these 10 examples, but in previous session we when we are talking about one question, and this is for belongs to random, and that too it was for nested for. So we leave that question at there. So we just go with that. This is the question which we left yesterday. Sorry, before session. So import random for roll in range 5 and dice equals to takes empty list because when it fix the random value, right, so it will add to the dice with the function append, which we used yesterday, append for adding the values to the list. So here, yeah, so here import random, we know that why we like, if we want to use this random or function of a random, so we have to do that. And when we are going with this roll can go up to 4, means like 5 iterations will be possible. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so 5 iterations will be possible. And dice, he taken dice as a empty list, so that it can be able to, yeah, able to yeah, so when die is in range 2, so we can use only two like yeah, he used die, but we can use any random variable, we know that. So what is, how many times we can attempt, like how many times we can throw the dice? we can throw the dice up to two times. Like zero, for zero, one time we can get the random value. For one, we can get the random value. We cannot use two because we know that uh, two was mm, yeah, the range in the inside the range we can go up to n minus 1. Here n was 2, so we can go up to 1. So here there is no need of die. We are using this die for like checking we are like number of random integers which it picks from 1 to 0. So here for 0 it will pick one random value. And see here, the function which was random.random into I mean integer was used inside the append. Append means we know that it will add the element which was we printed inside the append to the list. So here, what is the list? Dice. It is an empty list. So to the empty list, it will add append will add the random integer which was picks from this 1 to 6. So here when print dice means like it will give, I think, 2. No. For roll 1, he see here this print was inside the for loop. So what will be happen? So because of this print is inside the for loop, it will give for 0 1 print, for 1 1 print, for 2 1 print, for 3 1 print, for 4 1 print. So 5 list you will get 5 list, and every lists you will get two integers. See here, 2 6 1 3 6 4 5 2 3 2, like 5 things, because this print is at here. So when this roll was 0, okay, when this roll, the value of roll was 0, means it was the iteration, the first iteration. The roll was 0 means the iteration in the first iteration. So when it was running, dice is empty, we know that. And after that, for die in range, so it seems like previously we done a nested loop that we have to print the thing in if else. You have to, I know you remember when we are doing that, adding scores, right? So if the sum of the scores will be greater than 140, then you pass. Otherwise, you didn't pass, like that. The same thing which we done before session. So here also same thing. The dice which he used inside the this for loop, right? So this dice is for not this for loop, this for loop, because the dice was used inside it. So when it was we are adding the elements to this dice. So yeah, even here we printed, right? So we will get 5 inputs. So you can say that previously also we if we do same thing like print total here, total plus score, right? Before type, if we print total here, it will say that yeah, it will give what is the score you entered, 56. It will give 56. The value of total was 56. But here you can see that this is the list, right? After this loop completed, then only we can come out. So when we are coming out, minimum 2 iterations was required at here. So first iteration with 1 a 0, and second iteration with 1. So in the 2 iterations it will pick any random value from 1 to 6. So here it is 1 to 6. So when we are coming to this part, print was outside the for. When this loop completed, then only we can go with this loop, sorry, this print. So what is dice? Dice will add the both random integers. Here the both random integers are 2 6, here 1 3 6 4, like that. So if you want to print only one, but you want every random integer, okay. But see, if you want to get the output in one list, but you're having some sublists, so don't worry about that. But you want in a one list, so what you have to do was you have to take an another empty list, okay. For example, a is a empty list which we are using this list for this for loop. We are, and here remove this print dice. So here what you are doing was, yeah. So after completing this loop, okay, this loop, if you print here or yeah, if you print here or here, you it will maybe forgot, okay. if you print here or here, which like dice, yeah, dice, so it will be forgot. So here we take an a, right? So a dot append, a dot, sorry, append of which the list was dice. Then it will add the dice. Sorry, we did not mention print a, right? So print this a outside. Okay, print this a in outside. Yeah, see, which we got the random integers before time, right here, but which we got in a different list, like different lists. But here you can see that we get only one list, but in a sub. These are all sub list. Okay, but we get in a same list. So this is how you, if you want to print the thing outside the loop. For example, you done here, yeah, here you done dice dot append, but it works up to here. If you once come out from this loop, you should forget the value of dice, because we know that the inner loop works like the inner loop works like starts from again, like coming to the initial point, like it will again starts the value from zero and the dice becomes empty again. But so when you print here, so what will be happen was this dice. After this iteration, what is the value? Like what is the value of dice? The value of dice is this list of 3 comma 2, and after this a will recognize it, like it will add it. So where is this a? Here, right? So this for loop, this entire for loop did not show any changes in this a, but on the dash this for loop will show some uh, changes, like again we are starting this roll from the 1. We compared it with 0, right? So now the value of roll was 1. So when we are going with the value 1, the dice becomes empty. Okay, because for loop, when you are changing the roll value of roll, and again it will starts from like fresh. Okay, fresh. The whole thing will, how in first iteration it works same as second iteration. He did not recognize any uh, like before values. So here when you are going here, see here, for loop. So for 0 we get an dias that 3 comma 2, which was we stored in a. Where is that a at here? So again you run this entire outer loop, so there is no impact, like there is no effect for a, because a is outside the for loop. So it did not consider the a as a empty list, because it already having a value 3 comma 2. Same dice value and a value are same at after this first iteration. But when we are going to the second iteration, the value of roll was 1. We completed with 0, we're going with 1. So the dice becomes empty again. We already stored these dice values inside the a, but after this value changing of role, like we are going further in the value of row, so role, so the dice becomes empty and again starts loop that taking random values, like see this 5 comma 5, we get this 5 comma 5 in second iteration. So for which second iteration? For this outer loop second iteration we get the 5 comma 5. And after this 5 comma 5, what is the dice value here? The dice value here is not 3 comma 2, because again it will get empty and we get 5 comma 5. So now the value of append like dice was 5 comma 5, which was we are adding into the a. So here there is no any effect by this outer for loop, because we already types a at outside the for loop. So if you run multiple times, this a will be there, so the a is never become empty, but this dice will be empty when this loop completed, and again we will come from this to this loop, right? So then when it start freshly, so dice becomes empty, and this die also starts from 0. So that is the reason why we take another list and adding this list into this a. So print a, run it. So we will get. 3 comma 2, 6 comma 1, 4 comma 2, like that for first iteration, second, third, fourth, fifth. That's all. So this is how we are doing like this. So if you want that for these examples, okay, these everything in not in sublist, like you want in a one format, then you can do like this, which yeah, if you do it like, see, remove this print and add for I in, which was A. Okay, the list was A, right? Inside the A, we keeps every sublist which was getting from this dice. So A for value V. Okay, we consider V as a value in, what is that? I, because I is list here, because I will pick the every element, like this element, this is the element, this is the element, this is the element. So when it picks this element, what is this element? This is the element that not string, it's a list. So V in I means it will pick 2 and 2. So here when you say take another list, I mean empty list, so it will add to the that list, not this A was used here, this dice, yeah, this I was becomes another list which was dice, you can call it a dice. Okay, because dice is inside this 2 comma 2, but if you type dice here, so it will print that what is the last value of dice. The last value of dice is 3 comma 4, so it will choose only 3 comma 4, never choose this 2 comma 2, 6 comma 1, because in last iteration the value of dice was 3 comma 4. So that is the reason I takes an another variable I that indicates the 2 comma 2 and 6 comma 1 and 4 comma 2, like that. So we have to take another list B equals to list empty list. Why? Because we are, now these two lines represent, we know that what is the purpose of these two lines. The purpose of these two lines that finding the values inside the sorry, finding the elements inside the elements of elements. Like this is an element, so we are finding a element which is inside this element. So here you have to do that this B, right? So B dot append. Okay, append V. So it will add the values of V. The first value of V was 2. Again loop runs 2. Again loop runs 6, 1, 4, 2, like that. So now, so sorry. Here print B. So it will give, yeah, see here. These two, okay. Yeah, these two are random numbers 4 comma 2. This is a list. This is a list. This is a list. This is a list. This is a total 10. Because here 5 and here we can get up to 2 numbers. So 2 into 5, 10. As previously we do like here taking the sublists. Okay, here one list, here one list. Like here one bracket, here one bracket, here one bracket, here one bracket. But what we did was we are picking the every element inside the element, okay, which was inside the another like that element. So here by this process we done that picking the element. But why we taken this empty list was we have to keep that values inside the element, right? So we have to keep the which we picks from the list, the every element, each and every element we have to keep in the another list. So that is the reason I takes an empty list. And if you want you can try like this, that, yeah, you can try like this, which was total is plus equals to V. So you have to take total as 0. Otherwise, it did not know what is the value of total initially. So it cannot able to add it. So when you run it, so see, sorry, I did not printed it. See, I am just calling it. I am not printing it. So when I type total here, so it will says that, yeah, 31. Which if you want to add, then add it 538, 8311, 12, 17, 22. and yeah, 26, 29, 30, 31. See here how we like it will add. And if you want, we can change the same question to multiple ways. See, I done was, if previously what we like up to here, what we get here, what we get a random variable which we used print here. So that is the reason we get 5331554311. But what I did was, I'd taken another list which was outside the outer for loop, and I used inside the for loop that a dot append dice, which was recognized like every list in a one list. Like nearly these are five sublists. Okay, these five sublists are inside the one list. I did. So after that, this seems not good. So what I did was I taken another empty list. So what I did, when I'm taking the another empty list, so I continue with this empty list, that taking each and every element like this 5 3 and another sublist 3 1, another sublist 5 5. So I pick the every each and every element inside an element. So I what I done was I added these elements to the our newly created list. So this is an empty list. So that is the reason this 5 3 all are added to the list, and again we print it. So when we are printing it, we get this list which was this two one sub, this two one sub, sub like that. So total, what is the total was doing here was that total was adding the values. Okay, total was adding the values. So we already added, we get the same result. If you want, you can like do like this. So this is how you have to practice. So if you are having one question, you have to think in a different manner. Okay, you have to think in a different manner. So for example, after this we can go in a further that remove this print total. If total is greater than 30, there is no problem. If total is not less than 30, so there is a problem like that. You can go in the form of that. So you can like you have to try in the form of that. So you can, when you get these type of questions or in a different types of question, you will get some idea about that to what I have to means gather, like which I have to implement, whether if else or like any other things. Okay, you have to get some idea regarding that. So this is how you have to do with this for loops. And yeah, after this we will continue, we complete this random things like random numbers. So after session we will continue like, yeah, tough examples regarding these loops, or I sorry, if else. Okay, if else statements, toughest examples, not toughest, similar to these examples, but somehow thinking way will be changes with the examples. So I will explain this switch cases in, yeah, after this session or after this explaining the examples. So we will see in the next session both I whether the switch cases or this ran like for loop if else statements examples. We will see in next session. So thank you for watching.